Now let's have a look at something else. How can we plant a sign that gives more than just 2 words? So working with some children on really looking into the Iron Age as part of their history studies, I thought, how can I write this? It isn't actually very good. But, you know, I've chalk and a blackboard. Now you see, you're writing it and you're saying, when I write this, I'll bet you see pictures. Now that's what I mean by resonance. So hang on, I'm going to write it. And I'm trying to write it like people with not very sharp tools could actually make marks in stone. I think they used to call them something, but I'm not sure what they called them. The Iron Age. The age when stones could be cut. Now, just draw anything, because obviously I would have the paper ready. Just draw anything that you think, when that was on, this was going on. Now you hear the words. It's quite different than now. You know what the kinds of things, I bet you probably understand some of the things they did in the Iron Age.
Yes.
But when that was going on, what was going on? Now you see, in this case, would give white paper and black charcoal, if I could. I would try not to make it felt pens. I would try, but it may not be possible. I may even have to work with thick pencils, which would be better than felt pens. The sign is always trying to be as meticulously well, not perfect, I can't use that, meticulously well as I can make it. Because there's nothing worse than any old red pen drawing when that was going on, what was going on, you see. Now, if I'm going to keep resonating it, and I'm watching the drawing begin, we know some won't start, some will look to see what other people are doing, or I'm reading the sign just as they're reading the sign. So, I'm resonating if I dare. If I should be silent, I'll be silent if I think so. But you see, it might be it was the time of the runes, when the marks of the priests were laid upon the wood. It was the time of one stone placed upon another for the grinding of corn. Now, how far you interfere with that depends on how much you think they need. Now, some people say, oh, didn't she overdo it? Look, she's talking. They're all trying to draw, and she's talking. But I'm talking for the two that can't yet find a way. And I don't want to make them feel stupid. I'm not going to go and say it was the time of... Neither am I going to say, I think you could, you know, what about doing? I don't want to do that, because it isn't part of the sign. And you see the same here. This is a totally different thing. Would you agree that in a very, very old-fashioned school, on a Monday morning, a teacher might have come in very early and said, I think this week we'll think about this in our Bible studies. Do you think? Now, you see, I know it's a stereotype. I know all teachers weren't like that in the 1910s.
Yes.
And I know all teachers didn't necessarily do that, but a lot more people could do it than can do it now. And changing your own handwriting, incidentally, will be a very useful thing for you. You keep your own style for yourself, of course, but It is the blackboard is so good. It's such a power. And I've worked in a school for 3 months with that on a public blackboard, running a school of 1890 with the children as the children and the student teachers, and it was never touched. And I was only in the room for 2 hours every day, and it was used as a public teaching room, and it was never rubbed off, brushed, nobody drew on it, and it was never stated that they couldn't. And I would come in every morning. Cleanliness is still next to godliness. And so it became our text for the days. He would all say, now children, what is our cleanliness is next, and so on.